Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanthatcanproject.com to find out more.
You're listening to The Man That Can Project with Lachlan Stuart, a global movement created to empower men and open up what's really going through their minds by having real and raw conversations about life's unique challenges and our individual ways of processing it all. Welcome to The Man That Can Project.
Hey gents, how are we all going? It's a wicked Wednesday evening, getting Thursday's podcast done, and I generally love to do these in the morning. Today was an extremely fucking huge day. I was back to back till 1 o'clock, then went straight into training, and then I actually had a nap after that, and here we are. We're back in the office tidying up a few loose ends. I have a ton of emails to get back to, ton of messages. So if I haven't responded to, I'm sorry, I'm doing my best, but I also need to prioritize my own fitness and well-being and everything else that goes on there. So I will get back to you. It may just take, a day or two or three, maybe four. Talking about today, so I got a DM from a young dude asking about pre-workouts. And for those of you who know, I absolutely froth on training. I love it. It's a big part of me as an individual. I spend a lot of time making sure I get enough recovery to train, making sure I look after my body, stretch, get physio, massage, all that sort of stuff, just to make sure my body's taken care of. And it was cool. This young fellow reached out and he's just like, mate, what pre-workout do you take, for training? And for me personally, guys, I don't take pre-workouts currently. I've taken a shitload in the past. However, probably for the last, I'd say 3 years, I haven't used them. And I think there's a time and a place for them, but I'm just in a point now where I aim to get my energy from looking after my sleep and also eating well or making sure I'm eating enough. And that's just generally how I do it. And I also don't like the idea of having caffeinated pre-workouts where it jacks your heart rate up when my intention of training is to fucking wreck myself. So my heart rate is already going to be up. So I shared that with him. And obviously if I were to recommend a pre-workout, I told him what one I would use just because a few of my mates use the particular ones. But it's also a good time, I guess, and the reason why I'm doing this podcast for those of you who do train and think about pre-workouts. Definitely love to hear your take on it, your view on it. So send me a message. And we can probably even have a podcast on it because more and more people are keen on pre-workouts these days. But for me, like obviously on the flat days and the days where you have no energy, what do I do? Was this fella's next question. And it was a fucking brilliant question because a lot of us turn to caffeine or pre-workouts or all that sort of stuff when we are feeling flat. Now, the honest truth for me, I still, I won't drink coffee in the afternoon or anything like that either. My honest response is I'll just fucking whinge my way through training. And everyone who has trained with me, you'll know I don't whinge like crazy, but I do throw a few complaints and take a little bit to get started and get in the zone. But I think ultimately, once you're intentional with what you're there to get in, you just get in and get it done. You may not perform as well. There's a lot of, well, not a lot, but there's science behind the benefits of pre-workout and all that sort of stuff. And caffeine before training, which I, for your mental alertness and all that sort of stuff, which 100% I agree with. But I, at this point in time, I just feel, I'm going to listen to my body. I don't want to jack it up and use it more than it needs to be used if that's the case. So I just generally, on a flat day, I might have a 10, 15 to 20 minute nap. I might do some breath work beforehand. Recently, the last sort of 2 weeks, I've been jumping in a sauna. So if you have access to a sauna, I've been having a 10-minute sauna prior to training. I've found that's been actually really beneficial. It makes the warm-up. It's like you're hitting that second wind, where you've already gassed yourself and you feel flat, and then that next burst of energy pops in, and that's what it feels like. So on those days where I feel flat and have no energy, I don't personally resort to pre-workout, but I do also believe there's no right or wrong. You just got to do whatever works for you, right? And at the end of the day, if it's a placebo that fucking gets you lit and gets you lifting well or training well, awesome. But if it's not and you don't feel you need it, also awesome. I'm not really one to preach it or say what to go about it, but that's where I'm at with pre-workouts. Don't you use them currently, may use them again in the future, but at the moment, I guess from a supplement standpoint, the main ones that I'm using are fish oils, and I've been actually, to be honest, I was really consistent with my creatine, but I've been pretty inconsistent at the moment, but that's the other one, creatine and my magnesium. So they're the ones that I use, and then I just try to eat a ton of food. So I hope that's I just want to share that question Yana had with the young fella. But for those who are in the gym training and obviously wanting to learn more about your pre-works, definitely do your research. And obviously each individual product is completely different. I'm personally not one to ever want to use pre-workout with caffeine in it. It's just not my jam. But there are some good pre-workouts out there with without caffeine. So have a fucking ripper day, and I'll chat to you fellas later.
Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachlan Stuart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can Project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.